Today's activity call where the top leaders lead. It is my pleasure to introduce to you today our guest speaker, senior board member, Mr. Andy Riddle.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Shannon.
You're welcome.
All right. So we will get started. Got a couple of my buddies back from Aruba, so they look a little tanner than they normally do. But we are going to kick this thing off. We're going to talk about going integrity partner and ways to go about doing that, and I'm trying to do that. So we are going after it. So actually, let's Shannon, let me kick it back to you, and let's hit these leaderboards with the people out there putting up the numbers in the last week that we got here.
All right. Wonderful. Wonderful. So for total production issue paid for the week ending November the 3rd, at number 12, we have, and I will ask for your, I apologize for names if I messed them up, but I shall do my best. Number 12, we have Rayanne Clow with 7,562 production issue paid. Number 11, Stephanie Rodriguez, 7,724. Lenoris Washington is number 10 with 8,667. Taking ninth is George Andershock, 8,670. Number 8, Dalen and Eli Simmons, 8,809. Number 7, Sobner and Nilis, 9,186. Number 6, Mercedes and Gustavo Terran. Look at that, 11 apps, 9,198. Number 5, Elena Rodriguez with 9,598. Number 4, Marvin and Rachel Osuna, $10,444 issue paid with 9 apps. And rounding out the top 3, Juliana Sparks, 15,156. That's 1 app. Wow. Number 2, Megan Wood with 19,453. 31 applications. Wow. And taking the top spot this week, and I believe he's on the show today, Mr. Michael Hartlieb, 1 app, 20,000 AP. Great job, guys. And now let's do total annuity sales. Number 12, Andy Riddle, $100. We're proud of you. Number 11, Caleb and Kaylee Law, $100. Number 10, Jeff Turner and Kelly Haney, $400. Number 9, Ty Osborne, $14,338. Number 8, Mike and Brittany Rodriguez, $21,950. Number 7, Marvin and Rachel Osuna, $22,475. Number 6, Chuck Boyselli, $40,000. Wow. Number 5, Jorge Sanchez, $50,000 issue paid annuity. Number 7, Stephanie Reinhardt, $54,000. Number 3, Megan Wood, $79,326. Number 2, Elena Rodriguez with $95,982. And number 1 again, Michael Hartlieb with a $200,000 annuity. Great job. Total sales submitted. So this is what we call, I think, a preview of coming attraction. So this is submitted, and then it goes issue paid, the following. Number 12, Joseph 2 with $7,029 submitted. Number 11, Eric and Bobby Belair, $7,256 submitted. Number 10, Junior Korea with $7,605 submitted. Number 9, Hutch Hutchinson, $8,079 submitted. Number 8, Jeremico Edwards with $8,221 submitted, 10 applications. Wow. Number 7, Mercedes and Gustavo Terran, once again, $9,087 submitted. Number 6, Eric Penderson, $9,341 submitted. And now for the top 5. Jose Compton, $11,770. Number 4, Sobner Anilis, $13,001. Number 3, Lenoris Washington, $15,464 submitted. Number 2, Pumolo Situmbeko. I know I messed that up. My apologies. I will do better. $17,278 submitted. And taking the number 1 spot in total sales submitted for the week ending November the 4th, Megan Wood, 30 applications, $22,588 submitted. Okay, I believe the next one is CVS production issue paid. We're doing the top 3 on there. Number 3 is, there we go, wonderful, Nick Greco with 867 submitted. Number 2, Fred and Cassie B, 983 submitted. And the number 1 spot for CVS production issue paid, Mercedes and Gustavo, and they have $1,278, 2 applications. And now we're here to sell, build, and recruit. We're getting to the recruiting spot. The top 12 for last week. Number 12, Derek Pratt, part of Diane Lampy's team, with 1 recruit. John Serafinko, part of Adam Katz's team, 1 recruit. Diane Lampy, 1 recruit. And Brandon Manley had 1 recruit. Number 8, with 2 recruits, Cecil Good had 2, Courtney Long had 2, Ryan Jans had 2, and Jake and Veray Joseph had 2, and Yennefer Camacho de Pena had 2. Great job. 3rd place, top recruits for last week, Fitzgerald taking 3rd place with 3.
New integrity partner.
New integrity partner. That is correct. 2nd place goes to Stephen and Holly Davies with 4 recruits, and the number 1 spot for top recruiters, Jason and Olga Mathis with 4 recruits. Great job, everybody.
That studio audience is on point.
They are on point today.
All right, guys. So we'll get started. Going for integrity partner, as we just mentioned, Fitzgerald and Heather are new integrity partners as of this week. And something I'm trying to do, and I think a couple guys on this call are trying to do. So Jerry's got the hat on and everything. Look at Jerry fitting the part. He's all dressed up, ready. So, but we're going to kick it off, guys. It's one of those things that's, when I talk to Andy and things to do when we're trying to grow a big business and go integrity partner and create cash flow and cash flow in the sense of override cash flow and bonus cash flow in that aspect, more than anything, it's you need to get guys that are duplicating what you do, and you need to get guys to follow what you do, because there's so many things out there. To get people to move fast and do things fast is building those relationships with some guys and getting in the fight with them and them being in the fight with you and building this thing together and going about things together. So I got 3 of my buddies on here. They're all rested up. They've been on vacation for a few days. They're tan and they're ready to get going, and they're ready to get back to work and get back to doing the things that they do to go Integrity Partner. So I kind of want to just go through it with these guys for a little bit and have them talk a little bit about things that we do and the ways that we work together and in that aspect and growing those relationships. So I'm going to kick it over to you, Lou. And if you could just talk to them a little bit about things that you and Edie are doing and kind of what's going on in your business. But more importantly, I guess just kind of how we're building a relationship, me and you and Edie together, but also with some of the guys on your team that we're building with and you're building with, and trying to build that cohesive unit to really just generate the business and the aspects that you're trying to build over there.
Cool. What's up, y'all? Thank you for having me on the call. Appreciate it. I don't know about well rested, but definitely tanned from Aruba. How we just talking to the agents every single day, trying to, whether it's text or call them, travel to start to go see them. I was talking with Omar last week and going to go out to see him real soon. Maybe even go to San Diego with you guys, go talk to some of his new agents out there. But it's building a friendship. It's just like any relationship you're going to have. Just get to know somebody, enjoy them, have fun with them, and just be a friend. I want to help them. I want to see them grow. I want to grow. I want them to grow. And that's basically it. And that's what I learned from you, Riddle. The past 5.5 years here, just listening to you, talking to us, watching how you pour into me and Edie, coming down here, making sure the relationship's good with, everything's good with me and Edie and you, and just taught me the same thing. And that's what I want to do, is just follow what you're doing. I mean, that's it. That's what I want to do. We were in the casino the last night, and Jerry was sitting next to me at a table. Jerry got there before me, and Jerry's already got 2 guys' numbers that are in the financial world sitting next to us. And Andy was telling him, get the numbers. Jerry goes, I already got the numbers. And he's also just building relationships. That's all I want to do, is just build relationships with my team and keep growing and keep going. And Edie's getting more involved. Edie's actually thinking about getting her license now, and just enjoying this thing. I really am.
So talking about that stuff, like where Jerry got the numbers in the casino and stuff, and you guys were around Andy a lot. Can you talk a little bit? Because one of the things I think you 3 guys do, and I think it's vital for building a big team and building a partnership, and is going to be modeling. And when I say modeling, it's getting around successful people and modeling what they do, because you can go through stuff and you can spend 10, 15, 20 years figuring out everything you have to do in the aspects and go through every bump in the road and every issue in there. But when you model against somebody with success in this business, like a Andy Albright, a Paul Roberts, or a Fitz, that's gone partner, and you get around them, and you can really shorten the curve to where where you can get there. Can you talk a little bit, especially because, I mean, you're just coming back from Aruba. You were around a lot of great leaders and production people while you're down there. Can you talk about a little bit about what you did to get around them down there and some of the stuff that happened with that?
So I was real intentional. Edie and I were both real intentional what we wanted to do. I went a day early. I went a day early because I wanted to be intentional. I knew Andy was going to be there without too many people around him. So sent him a text message after I got there. Him and Jane were doing some things, but got to hang out with him later that night. Him and Brandon Manley. There was just 4 of us sitting around late at night around a fire pit, just talking. And I did that intentionally. That's what Edie and I discussed. And that's what I did. And that's what we wound up doing. Next day was the same thing. Go down to the pool. I could just sit around the pool and do nothing if I wanted to. But when you see Paul Roberts and Fitz sitting there, and Mike Hartlieb and Brandon Beal and people like that, I want to go sit next to them. And going to hang out with Jerry Burbage. And like, I had dinners with Jerry Burbage. It wasn't just to sit there and just, shoot the breeze. I'm learning from Jerry. I'm learning from Mike. I'm learning from Paul Roberts. And I did that. Everything we did was intentional on who we were going to meet with and who we were going to have dinners with and who we were going to talk to. I just didn't want to sit on the beach and do nothing. It was even getting around Robbie Kraft, getting around the staff, getting to know them, getting better than I have, getting to know them more. That's what I needed to do, and that's what I wanted to do.
Awesome,
Gina Hawks. I have a big IUL. I'm going to be writing tonight around 6:30, and Gina Hawks is going to be on the extension tonight. When I told her about it, she says, "I'll clear my schedule at 6:30 to do that for you." She doesn't just do that for nothing. I made friends with her, and that's why she did it. But I got real intentional what I did.
That's awesome. Awesome job, man. I'm so proud of you and Edie and what you guys got going on and your business and everything that you're doing. So fired up about you. Don't go anywhere. I may come back to you.
Gotcha.
All right. Jerry and Cassie up there in Chucktown, just tearing it up, fresh back from Aruba himself. He got a nice surprise last night when someone called him and found his passport. So that was good. I was just glad you were through customs when you misplaced it.
Yeah, for sure.
But Jerry, same thing for you, man. Just kind of talk a little bit about what's going on in your team, what you guys are doing, what you're excited about, but also just the relationships that you're building with your guys and the stuff that you have going on and same type stuff.
Awesome, man. Hey, thanks for having us on here. We appreciate it. Yeah, man, Aruba. Wow, that was fun. Getting to know some people that we don't normally see, on a basis, and taking advantage of the time we have with them. Just like when Andy brings everybody in at the conferences, kind of did the same thing and mix some of that fun in as well. But yeah, our team, we're growing. We should have a couple of agency managers growing on before the end of the year here. The Butler team's on the grow, getting some width and some depth down there, getting to know those people a little better. Caroline up in Tennessee, her they are killing it, putting in big numbers. Has, I think, 4 new recruits this past month. And just start. We got a girl down in Florida. We got a newer girl, Brittany, here in Charleston. Just trying to grow, man. Just trying to copy what Albright does. That's kind of where that story Lou was telling about the inside the casino came from. Just something I watched him do. Like, everywhere he goes, he's picking up his phone and he's like, "Hey, you guys know how to work this little button right here?" And just give him to punch a number in. Just getting to know people. Trying to get better at knowing our team and working to depth in there. We're about to start traveling more, going out and helping people, getting on you got to go. That's the biggest thing I see with the leaders, like you and Fitz and Paul Roberts, Andy, of course, he never stops. If you want to grow, you got to go. And so that's what we're going to start doing. I sent you some numbers, I think, yesterday on what it would take for us to get to that level. And when you put them out and you figure them out, it's crazy. It doesn't take long. What was it? Next end of next year? It could happen. So that's what we're going to shoot for. That's what we're going for. Obviously get you there first. And we're coming right behind you, buddy.
I like it. Hey, do you have any stories? I know Lou shared the one and you just brought it up too with the one where you got the numbers, but any like big points just from hanging around Andy or like Fitz or Paul Roberts that you could just share with everyone and say, hey, just being at this spot in Aruba and just more being present and just getting like a big nugget or a tip that you might have grabbed?
Yeah. All 3 of them, they just keep it simple. They don't complicate stuff. They're like, hey, this is if you do this, this happens, do this, this happens, do this, this happens, and then you're in Aruba. None of them are, they don't speak to you from way up here. They, they ask questions, they ask a lot of questions. They want to actually get to know the people they're helping, people they're on a team. And they just, how simple they keep it is amazing. One thing Andy said in our meeting, yeah, we did have a little meeting in Aruba too. He just talked about let's just go see how many people we can help, keep the first things first, and everything else will take care of itself. We got to know that injustices, bad things are going to happen. So now that we already know they're going to happen, when they do happen, we can't sit on it. Hit it, take care of it, keep moving. And that was big for me, just knowing that stuff ahead of time. It's kind of, like when you've always said, hey, make a decision. So now that the decision is already made, when something comes up, handle it and keep going. So that was a big thing for me, is how simple they keep it, how they interact with their people. And they just handle stuff, when something hits them, they're like, yeah, all right, let's figure out, instead of focusing on what happened, they focus on how to fix it. And all three of those guys.
That simplicity thing is something that I think you have to hang around and get. Like, you can tell somebody to get more simple, but watching the individual things of being simple in every aspects and handling issues simply, I for me, it's the way that I've ever figured it out and trying to get better at it is just being around someone like Andy all the time and just watching how he handles stuff, how he does stuff, how simple he creates stuff. And he talks about being simple. And I mean, I get it, but to actually get it, I think being present and being around it, is one of those modeling things where you just, it shortens the curve to learning how to do it.
Absolutely.
So
kind of like, you're getting winning these trips, going to conferences. It's like you get a free on the job training in Aruba while you're having fun. Okay, I guess I'll go.
Hey, your logo's got a good positioning right here. It's a little bit cut off. I got to move the camera a little bit for you. Lou's down there below. Right there. Mike, you don't have the greatest positioning. I don't see you on. You're on here. Oh no, you're right there. Oh, wrong way. There you are. My fat butt is blocking yours. Hey, Handy made me this sign, and it's awesome. But one thing I noticed is my logo is just above here and just below here. It's nowhere in the screen. So that's the one thing that drives me nuts is my logo's it's on here, but it just got cut off. So
that's funny.
You know how things like that work, but awesome job, Jerry. Proud of you and Cassie, what you guys got going on, and super excited about things. When you sent me that text last night, I got fired up, man. I was like, yep, it is that simple. And that's the thing too, Jerry. It's like when you put the numbers to it and the math to it and just see how simple it is to explode your business. Like what Jerry showed me last night, I'll actually pull the text up, but it wasn't like going, I think Jerry's team did right around 60,000 last month. And it wasn't like, oh, by this time next year, I want to be doing 80, it was by this time next year, by December of next year, he wants to be doing 765,000. And it's the 20% every month on top of that, just growing 20% every month and compounding that, what it's going to look like. And dude, that's what that's going to do for you and your family and the legacy for your family that it's going to leave. It's just going to create that cash flow. That's unbelievable. So I'm super proud of you guys and fired up about what you guys got going on, and stick around. I'll probably come back to you and Lou and stuff too. Don't fall asleep. I know you guys got in late last night. So all right, Big Mike, you got your orange shirt on. Is that from Aruba?
That's an Arubian shirt, Bubba.
Uh-oh. So fresh off your trip there, same thing, man. Just like what Jerry and Cassie, Jerry talked about and Lou talked about, just the relationships and building those relationships. I know you did a lot of that down there, but also talking about what you're excited about in your business and kind of things that you learned or points that jump out to you that happened down in Aruba.
Well, thank you for having me on the call. It's a real honor. Simplicity, baby. That's all when I was sitting we were sitting in the pool, and Lou, it was Paul Roberts, Brandon Beal. Who else was there? Somebody else was there. Terry Edwards. And we were just talking, and the simplicity in which they make it. And I started thinking about it. And like, Riddle, you keep everything simple. That's the way it is. The highest paid people in this profession keep it simple. The simpler, the more money. And I'm beginning to see that. I see how Paul handled it. I see how, especially you, Riddle, how you handle it. It's pretty cut and dry. And that's a good thing. It's a very, very good thing. And the relationships that you have created across the country is, and with your team, is huge. Like, he bought us lunch when we were in Aruba, and he was in Jacksonville when he bought us lunch. Now, we were kidding around about it, but that's the type of man he is. And I've learned that the relationship is more powerful than trying to be a boss. You try to be a boss and tell people what to do all the time, it ain't going to work, bro.
They're not going to like you, Mike.
And yeah, I ain't nobody's boss. And I love the team, but I love the team for who they are and what and for everything that they're doing for everybody else. The examples that they're setting. Like I think we had 6 people there, that the youngest was being in their 20s and the oldest being in their like 31 or 32. And like, I'm a little bit older than that.
90 is what they said earlier on the call, I thought.
Easy, Tiger. Easy. We don't even want to talk about that. I had a birthday cake delivered to me at dinner that said, "Happy 90th birthday, Big Mike." And yeah, that was interesting anyhow. So I stayed away from the kids. We call them the kids. And I stayed away from them, let them enjoy and let them see what it's all about. And they made some tremendous relationships with other people. Oh, yeah. I'm not even going to tell you whose idea that was. Then there's a story there. You had to be there to appreciate this. Lou was right there when it happened.
Hey, you got to be there to know it. It's the inside joke.
Yeah, Lou knows what happened. I thought it was for the tomato, Amy, because her birthday was on the 30th, and I'm pointing to her the whole time. And I looked down at the damn cake and it said Big Mike. I said, "Oh my Lord, have mercy."
That was going to get you in trouble if you for the 90th and give it to
her. Yeah, it's all about the relationships, guys. I just like the people, and I'm more proud of the people, the relationships they establish. Like, I watched how the team interacted with Brandon and Haley, how they interacted with Robbie Kraft. I stayed away and let it all happen like that because I need them to get more in tune to people their own age. And I learned that from Riddle. And inside that competitive spirit of his, I mean, let's just be I'm just gonna be very transparent. He and I, we butt heads every so often, but it's out of respect and out of love, and he's generally right. Most of the time he's right. And if he ain't right, he'll tell me he's right.
If you could tell Angelo that later, that would be awesome.
But yeah, man, it's we have it made here. When we all got together in Aruba, like, I don't know a lot of these people, but when we left Aruba, I knew a lot more people. And I think we came as friends. I posted that on Facebook. We came as friends and we left as family. And it makes us tighter. And as a family, we can conquer anything. And it's just one thing after another that Andy Albright and Andy Riddle and the team, Fitz, Paul Roberts, all these people that are going partner, the example they're setting for us. I'm fired up, brother. The team is exploding, and it's because of these guys that are on the call here, not because of me. It's all because of somebody else. It has very little to do with me and everything to do with everybody else. So don't miss these trips and don't miss that national convention.
Awesome, man. I agree with the convention coming up, and we got a bunch of meetings coming up. So if you're not signed up for a national convention, if you don't know what that is, it's in January. And what we do is twice a year, Andy brings the top leaders together in one spot. It's January 20th through 23rd. I recommend getting a ticket to go. If you're not sure how you're going to do it, just mark it on your calendar so you can book nothing else those days, and you can be in Burlington, North Carolina with us, because it won't be like sandy beaches like Aruba and stuff, but it will have the top leaders there where you can associate and get around them, have lunch with them, have dinner with them, have breakfast with them, and really just focus in on that. It's the next big thing that we have that's inclusive for anyone in the business to go to, and get around these types of people, because it will grow your business. It's one of, like what Jerry is saying, where he wants to grow 20% every month for the next year, to get to that almost $800,000 business. Which he can do, but the way he does it is by getting him there and getting a bunch of people there. That's how he's going to grow his business, to grow that 20%, and just getting his guys around top people, because as great as Jerry and Cassie are, they need to get their guys around people that are better than them or have better skills or different skills than them too, to continue that growth up. And for your business to go partner, that's a huge thing, Mike. So like you're talking about getting to that conference, like you just said, and getting your team there, it's the most important thing that you have going on. Also coming up the next couple of weeks in November, we do have some meetings going on across the country that you can plug into. I'm actually doing one next Monday, or no, this coming Monday, November 8th in Jacksonville, Florida, at 7 p.m. So if you have anyone in the Jacksonville, Florida area, love to have them come by. We also have one going on the 9th in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, with Adam Katz and Ed Soto. We'll be at that one. November 9th as well in Atlanta, Georgia. Myself and Brandon Manley will be there up in Atlanta. And then on November 10th, you have me again, Brandon Manley, Jason Mathis, and Big Mike Hartlieb will be in the Tampa, Florida. It will not be at the office there. We're actually doing it at the courtyard in West Shore area by the airport. So that's where that meeting will be held as well. And then on November 10th in Fort Lauderdale as well, you'll have Stephen Davies and Adam Katz there. So that's coming up next week. And then November 11th in Jacksonville, Florida, Gina Hawks will be in Jacksonville, Florida, doing a boot camp during the day here in the Jacksonville office. So all are welcome there as well. So that's what's coming up in the next week for you guys. And then we have more coming too. You can find all these upcoming meetings. There's a ton of them in November. I'd read through all of them, but we'll probably take up the rest of the time of this call if I try to read through all of them. So going into the ARC, you can look at all the November meetings coming up, and just keep growing your business and doing the things that you can do, and really setting up your business. Some of the things, guys, I took I prepared some notes, and I took enough to go for a whole hour, just in case these guys slept in and didn't want to get up from after their trip when they got in late last night. I'm glad they did, because they added so much to the call. But I mean, I got some stuff I want to kind of talk about as going to Integrity Partner and doing the things that you do. And what I see with the guys that have gone Integrity Partner, like, Brian Adams and Andy Albright, Paul Roberts, Fitz, and some of the other Integrity Partners I've known, is the thing that they do most, that I can look at all these guys together and kind of look, you look at what successful people do and what the things, the traits they have, and each one's different. They have different traits, but the one trait I see with all these guys is their capacity to strengthen the capacity they have and what they focus on to strengthen their increase of hunger. So it's continuing wanting more. It's always working on that hunger and doing things. I've been around Andy for years. I remember when I met him 14 years ago, I had a set of goals that I wanted to achieve in my life. And Andy's so good at, and this business is so good. I achieved all those goals within my first 5 years here. And thankfully, Andy has always expanded my vision with different stuff through Rob reports, crazy trips, renting houses in different places. All this stuff has always expanded my vision. And all these guys have that, where they have that hunger to grow more and do more. And that's just the drive for them to do that is just, I think it's key when you look at the integrity partners. They have that drive to do more, and they've always, and they're focused on building that drive to continue to do it. I think all of them model successful people, which successful people they get around. And this is a key one here. I think you need to get around people that make you uncomfortable. You know, if they make a little bit more money than you, they're not where you want to be. You need to get around people that make a lot more money than you. I mean, I'm pacing to make around $1 million this year, and I don't know what Andy makes, but I would guess he's worth over 100, maybe 200 million. So he's worth 100 times more than I am. You know, that's the guy I want to get around and get coached by. Not someone that makes just like 100,000 more than me. You know, it's someone that really just stretches you and pulls you and does the things that you want to be around. So it's getting around those people and modeling what they do, because they can get you through so many things that you won't have to deal with that would slow your business down or even take you out. And it's just making sure that you do that stuff. Some things too, it's key that they all do. They all visualize what they want. So they're looking, 5 years, 10 years down the road of what they want to do. And this, I grabbed this off my desk. So this is one of the visualization things that I do. And I was very strategic about doing this. When I took this picture, it was to make this, and it sits on my desk, and it's one of those pictures that's on my desk, but I'll show you too. It's a picture of me and Brian Adams, and I put on top integrity marketing partner. And it's a picture. It sits on my desk, and I look at it every single day. Like, I can't not look at it because it's sitting on my desk. So it just sits there, and it's something I visualize, because when I watch these guys go partner, guess what they all have? They all have a picture with Brian Adams. So I was like, well, I'm getting a picture with Brian Adams, and I'm going to put that on my desk just so I can see it every single day. It's in front of me every day. So it helps you make the decisions that you're going to do to continue to go. You just you can't lose focus on it because it's right in front of you. Visualize what you want and look at that all the time. Another key thing that I watch all these guys do is daily focused on being a blessing to their guys. Andy's a blessing in my life. He's a blessing in my kid's life. Everything he's done is a blessing in my life. And it's trying to become that blessing in the life to people that you're around and really focusing on doing that. And I think that's a big part of going partner, is being blessings in people's lives and them looking at you and just being like, the way I look at Andy, and I know what Andy and Jane have done for me, I'm trying to pass that on. I don't want to be the guy that stops that. I don't want to be the guy that stops that blessing and just takes. I want to be the guy that takes that blessing that Andy and Jane have given me and pass that blessing on to other guys. It's important, because when you start building a business and you're trying to duplicate, this is a duplication business, and you're trying to get guys to follow you, you have to pass that blessing on. It's a daily focus. It's a daily focus of trying to be that blessing and continue to do so. So those are some of the things that I really just look at these integrity partners that I know and watch what they do. And it fires me up, because it's like, I can do that stuff. That's the stuff I want to do. That's the stuff I want to look at. And that's where I want to go. So it's really the aspects of the different parts of becoming an integrity partner that I'm trying to follow, and I'm trying to do and trying to follow those footsteps they put in front of me. Some of the other things that really gets me going in the aspects of different types of stuff is, when I got in this business, I would see people like Andy Albright, Paul Roberts, Fitz, partners that we have in there, and looking at what they've built and their businesses they built. And I looked at the way that kind of the money that they're making. And it was one of those things I was like, if they're doing it, I can do it too. And it's looking at my business. But one of the things I had to learn and had to change my mindset on is the aspect of creating cash flow. And cash flow is basically to go in integrity partner is what you're doing. You create cash flow. That's you create enough of it. That's when you become an integrity partner, have the ability to become an integrity partner. And it's looking at the aspects of going out there and creating the cash flow. So there's a book I read that Andy had me read years ago, and it's one of my favorite books of all time. Is this book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. It's a book that teaches you the way money works, and it teaches you the way cash flow works. Now, everything in this book that I read is opposite of what my parents taught me, what school taught me, what college taught me, all that stuff. It's different. And it's knowing how to create cash flow and the stuff that you have to do. And a lot of the stuff that you do when you create cash flow is take the money you're making and invest it back in your business. And I'm not telling you have to go out there and invest, but if you want to go and partner, you're going to have to invest. So if that's one of the things you want to do, you're going to have to figure out how to invest money back in your business and do so. Because there's a lot of times I look at what Andy and Jane have. Andy lived in his parents' house that he bought from his parents for years. I remember I think we're in like South Dakota, and Andy said to me, he goes, heck, most of you guys have nicer houses than I have. And I was like, Andy, you have nicer houses than you live in. Like, but it's how they lived below their means for so long to get what they, to get the jets, to get the cars, get the beach houses, get the all that other stuff. They live below their means. And I look at the income I bring in. I'm not saying I live in a nice house, but I mean, I could probably live in a house 3, 4, or 5 times bigger than what it is. I drive a car that gets me back and forth, and I like it, and I think it looks cool. But I mean, I also could go get a Porsche, but I take that money and I invest back in my business, because what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to build a cash flow that entices integrity to say, hey, we want to go partner with you. And it's creating that stuff. And same with that book. He built this board game called Cash Flow that I recommend that all you guys get and play. It will teach you about this business. And it's one of those fun games that I love playing it. I play it whenever I can with some of my guys and get together and do it. And you'll learn a lot because in that game, one of the things that you want to do if you want to win that game is you're going to just get by. I play that game broke just because I'm buying everything. I'm buying every business. I'm buying stocks. I'm buying this. I am broke. I was playing it the other day with somebody, and they're laughing because they thought they were crushing me because of how broke I was. And then boom, that big deal comes around and it's like game over. You just lost. But it's playing and it's learning to play your life the way you would play that board game. At least if you're good at the board game. And it's playing that sense. Cause I remember talking to Andy one time, I made a financial decision without running it by him. And I was like, hey man, I did this, but I can't do that now because I just paid off all this. Mm-hmm. And he's like, why'd you do that? And it's like, and I remember him saying to me, he goes, if you're playing cash flow, would you have done that? And I was like, no. And he's like, why not? I was like, cause I'm trying to win the game. And he's like, oh, okay. So you're not trying to win the game of life. I got it. And I was like, shoot, he got me there. So it's learning how cash flow works and learning how to do that, because most people don't understand. I didn't understand to invest in stuff, invest in my business. But when you're looking at, if you want to go to become an integrity partner, it's investing in your business heavily to go do it. And Jerry, kind of like where you want to go from 60,000 a month to 800,000 in the next year, it's 100% doable, but you're going to have to invest. You're going to have to travel, and you're going to have to build relationships with guys to duplicate what you do. And it's going out there and doing that. And it's building that just so you guys know, you're investing in, not investing in like cars or bigger houses and stuff like that. So you can invest in your business, so you can go out there and get an integrity partnership, which is going to put millions of dollars in your bank account and give you millions of dollars of $1 billion company of stock that you can later sell for billions of dollars again, and then get more money and still keep some stock and do it again and again. It's building that legacy money. Legacy money for your family to continue doing it. And is it worth giving up some stuff for a few years, nicer cars, bigger houses, all that kind of stuff, just to go do it? And some people may say yes. And that's who this is for. The people that want to invest heavily and build their businesses, you can do so. And just by learning these things that Andy has taught me and him having me read these books and stuff has created an $80,000 a month override income for me. And I'm not saying that's great, because that's not where my goal's at. Trust me. I pulled up my ARC statement where it revs the engine, and I'll just show you. I mean, it's 79,000, but notice my goal's not at 80, it's at 100. And then once I get close to 100, I'm going to move that goal out again. And it's just doing these types of things to build that kind of cash flow that you need to do in your business if that's what you want to do. Because when I saw this business and you could go out there and build that kind of cash flow and build that kind of legacy for your family, it's one of those things that just, it's always driven me. You know, it's going out there and selling insurance is great. And I think it's a vital important because that's what we do. But to figure that stuff out is pretty simple. You know, we sell life insurance. If they die, it pays them money. I mean, that's what it is. And if you want to get good at sales, is start caring about the people that you're going in and seeing. That's what it is. It's like when you go in a house, if you're going to the house to try to leave them better than where they're at, you're going in and helping them overcome the situation to when one dies, that you're leaving them better off than when you left. And if you're going in there to help people, that's sales. So there's your sales training for this call, because that's all you need to know. If you're going to the house, truly going in there to help people, you don't need to know how to sell, because that's selling. It's just going in there and helping people. After that, the rest is fine. If you're looking to build a business, the same thing too, is being a blessing and helping your guys do that as well. And it's just those kind of aspects. Just from those points, Lou, Mike, or Jerry, you guys got anything you want to throw in there or add on to that kind of stuff?
You actually killed it, Riddle. And I'm making notes here. The biggest thing I see is visualization and hanging around people making a lot more money. And the one thing I'm I got to get better at is being intentional, getting around that, because it's not going to be convenient. It's never convenient. If it's so convenient, everybody would be doing it. But if it's not convenient, it's probably good enough. It's probably best that I do it. Like getting up to Jacksonville would probably be a good idea to get around that. And going to conference, it'd probably be a good idea that I do that. Is it always convenient? No. And John Maxwell said it best at a conference. If you're going up, you can't see it, but if it's like this, you're going up, it's probably the right thing to do. If it's going the other way down, that's probably not a good thing to do. So I'm beginning to realize by listening to you again, Andy, thank you, visualizing it and getting around the people making a lot more money, not a little bit more money. So
the investing part in the business was, I love to hear that. And too many people don't understand that. And I'm getting just now starting to understand it more and more. And just listening to you say that, Riddle, just makes me want to invest more now into my business. And I'm going to grow. I'm going to crush this thing. Andy was just sending me a text message all right while this was going on. I didn't get a chance to finish reading it, but I'm going to be partner very soon. I am going to invest heavily into this business, like you said. Definitely.
Awesome, man. Jerry, you got anything you want to throw in there?
Yeah, man. We gotta dream bigger and associate at higher levels. That's kind of where that's why I know that's what I have to do. I have to gotta stretch myself. Definitely got to invest more in myself first, and my people. Just like you've always done since day one for me. So it's time to just start paying it forward, stretching and growing, to get you there so that we can get there as well. So just thank you for all you do, man. I'm fired up for all of us.
Yeah. And it's one of those things that I'll leave it with this. There's three things, like these three simple points. One is life's hard. So going partner is going to be hard, but guess what? Anything in life is going to be hard. If you do nothing, your life is going to be hard. So you might as well do something where you can leave a legacy. You might as well go out there and fight and do something hard where you can leave a legacy, because it's going to be hard regardless what it is. If you're just sitting on your couch trying to be safe, guess what? You're going to have health problems. You're going to have family problems. You're going to have this problem and that problem. Life is hard. Going to an integrity partner is going to be hard, and you're going to have to get up and you're going to have to go. You're going to have to travel. You're going to have to invest and do things that are uncomfortable. But it doesn't matter. Life's going to be hard regardless what it is. So you might as well do stuff. I'm reading a book now, and it's talking about like when you dream and how big you want your dream is. big dreams or small dreams, it takes the same energy to think about them. So and life is going to be hard, just knowing that regardless of what you're doing in this business or outside of it, it's going to be hard. So guess what? You're going to have to deal with it. So just accept it. It's going to be hard. Let's go win. Let's go out there and win and become integrity partners. So you have that. The second thing is, it is up to me. So it is up to you to achieve that. So when you think big and you have a big dream, it's up to you to go get it. It's up to you, and you can go out there and do it. You can accomplish whatever it is. And a lot of times it's pushing yourself to do stuff that you're not sure you're not even sure how to do it. Heck, we're in our new studio that we just built, and it's one of these things that I have no clue on. Is pieced together, and it's not even finished yet, but it's just cool. And it's like, people are saying, what are you going to use it for? I was like, I have no idea. I'm just going to build it and see what happens, and we'll use it, build it and they will come, kind of an aspect. So that's what we're going for here. But it's one of those things that it's up to you. It's up to you to go out there and get to what you want to do. It's up to you to want to go in that sense and do stuff. And thirdly, you can become whatever you want to be. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter what your goal is or where you want to be or who you want to be. You can become that person, and you can make the changes to become that person now. And I recommend that if you see the person you want to be or where you want to go, is start making those changes in every aspect of things that you want to do. Andy talks about when he's in a room or he's around people, he has this vision of up above his head, looking down on him, of what he looks like, of what he says. And when he first said it, I was like, I don't even get it. Like, I know what he's saying, but I don't get it. And it's starting to look at different things and in the aspects of even just stuff visually here. Like, we have this backdrop behind me. It's like, visually, I want to have what I want behind me. There's a little thing with this mic that we do, that if you notice right here, it has a logo of another company. Well, next time I do one of these videos off this, guess what logo is going to be there? Not another company. It's going to be my logo. It's on that mic part right there. Trust me, it's already ordered. It just couldn't get here by today. And we even rushed ordered it, but we'll have it. But it's knowing these things and being visual of different stuff, knowing what things look like. We jumped on this call earlier, and I was making sure that I looked all right. The lighting okay. I actually have 3 lights in front of us to make sure the lighting's good in here. It's visualized, and you can be who you want to be. I don't think I'm this guy that can do podcast or this stuff, but I know I can, because now I have the stuff. And knowing what you can do, and you can become whatever you want to be. So what you want to be is going out there and doing that. And I think that's kind of one of the points I hit off earlier, is building that capacity to increase your capacity of the hunger that what you want to do. And I think it's the hunger of where you see yourself and want to be. I mean, this is where I see myself, the hunger for this picture right there. I mean, I have the picture. Now I just need the hunger of achieving that integrity partnership and having that picture with Brian Adams and having the relationship with the other great integrity partners that are out there, and having that lifestyle, and that just being part of that club. Fitz talked about in his video the other day that he's got a seat at the table. Get your seat at the table of an integrity partner. Go out there and make those changes that you need to make, become that person you want to be, and go out there and fight for what you can do, because becoming an integrity partner inside this business is going to be generational changing for your family. And it's one of those things that it can go out there and change it. And it's just making those sacrifices and stuff, because life is hard, and no matter what you do, so you might as well get some reward at the end, and continue to go out there and continue to do so, and continue to build stuff. Guys, I'm so fired up. I'm so glad the 3 of you guys are in my life. I'm so grateful to have you guys and have relationships with you guys. And it's one of those things, guys. I can tell you stories about all 3 of these guys. And it's not stories that I've heard. It's not stories that they've told me. It's experiences that we've had. And I've been to all 3 of their houses. I know all 3 of their wives. Mike, did you propose in Aruba? No? Oh, okay. I know Tomato. So there was just a rumor. You said you were going to. You told me, I was just following up on the rumor. But all three of these guys I have relationships with. So I've been to their houses, I've hung out with them. I know their families. I know their kids, the ones that have kids and the ones that don't. I know their birds and their dogs and all that kind of stuff. So, I mean, I know their family and I've gotten to know them and we've experienced life together and we're going to continue experiencing life together. We're going to continue to grow. And I am just grateful and blessed that these guys are in my life. And I hope I can give back to their families like Andy and Jane have given back to me. And it's one of those things that I daily focus on and fight for, to give that kind of a relationship and that love that Andy and Jane has passed into my family, that I just want to pass through to their families. And I want to become that blessing. And it's one of those things that I fight for every day. It's one of those things that I try to get better at and be able to perform for, and with these guys and the other guys on our team. And I just know that the heart of the Alliance is that. In the heart of integrity is that, to build these relationships and knowing that when you have these relationships that you're willing to fight for and go for and go battle with, it builds these bonds that are just inseparable, bonds that you guys can do that, but it's being in the fight with each other. You can't just rely on Andy and Jane to fight for you and you never put any fight into it. And whoever your manager is, a Paul Roberts, a Fitz, whoever, getting in the fight with them and just letting them fight with you and build this, and amazing things are coming. The Alliance is on an unbelievable path. We have a lot of partners lining up, getting ready to go partner. You're at the best place that you can be to build a business, and you're at the best place you can be to build that cash flow for your family and build an integrity partnership here at the Alliance. So with that, guys, it's been an honor to hang out with you three. And I hope this helps some of you guys out there. Don't forget about the meetings. There's a ton of them next week. Get on the ARC and look at it. National Convention in January 20th. I almost said July. January 20th in Burlington, North Carolina. Make sure you mark it on your calendars. Get signed up for that. But again, guys, it's been an honor. Thank you, Andy and Jane, for trusting us to do this call. And we'll see you guys next week.